But there's a movie that came out recently, which was Ultimate something. It's about a guy who's like a dang it, I fell off the thing again.
That's right, I got this guy.
Um, he is what are they called whenever they're a rogue?
Assassin?
Not assassin.
Mercenary?
Some well, I guess he's a rogue assassin. The guys that are brainwashed and they don't know that they're assassins until they're given
Oh,
that one line that says, "Hey, I'm an assassin."
what was the name of that project that they did with the CIA that tried to turn people into those? But I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they did a movie like that. It had the kid from, what did he do?
He did. He was the guy from Facebook.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
movie.
or Now You See Me?
Uh
Yeah.
huh. Zombie Land.
I like Zombieland. I'm not a real big fan of his, though. Like, his movies are really big, hit and miss with me.
Yeah.
You're always welcome. Finn, if you're watching still, dude, you're always welcome with us. I think you did a fantastic job tonight. So if you guys see us on, just hit us up, man. Two times two. Oh, so he is pulling. Now, this monk right here, this is a classic monk. This is the kind of monk that I used to see all the time on live. I'm glad to finally see one again, even though I didn't play one.
Yeah, where they fade out right before the mob gets to the group and the lawyer picks it up.
No. Just that the fact that they're playing a human.
Oh yeah.
It's a human monk. Like, that is as rare as all get out on this server. You don't see that at all. And it's great. I'm liking it. Plus, they're sexy, dude. Look at that. Like, you can't get much sexier than a monk. She's out there in, like, a sports bra. I mean, look at that. There's a mob out here, by the way, dude.
I accidentally pulled a grinning goblin, gargoyle, whatever. Crap.
It sounded like he might have dropped his mic.
That was on a mic. That was milk
Oh, no. You need to clean it up?
on a keyboard. Yeah, I gotta. I'll AFK a second.
All right, man. Sort of like a keyword that activates a person's ability, like in Captain America, where Bucky had a set of keywords that turned him into an evil badass. Hey, Spider. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about, or what Cypher was talking about. American. What was the last word in that movie? I know which one he's talking about. The guy worked at like a convenience store. American. Gonna kill me. But yeah, that one was kind of interesting. Not really an action star. I mean, he did do the Zombieland one too, but like there was like almost no action of him in that movie. It was the guy from Cheers that tended to do all the heavy lifting, I think. I did like the TV show that came out for Zombieland. All of like 2 episodes of it. It was great. They were doing like zombie kill of the week on each one of the episodes. I thought it was a great idea. I guess it just didn't last. All right, all clear again. So Cypher is cleaning his keyboard. That's why his character is moving like that. I think it's going to take a swim here in a minute and probably drown. We'll see. But yeah, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies of the old days, like that was amazing, you know? Terminators, they did the Conans, you know, although that's kind of old and some of you guys might not be into that one too much. There was another guy that did a number of movies as well. He did that Crawl movie where he had like I don't even know what you call it. It's like a six fingered bladed weapon that he would like fling out there and it would come back like a boomerang. It was very magical, and there was a moving castle that changed positions every day. I think I remember seeing him in a number of movies. That I don't think that was the same guy that did the Ice Pirates movie. Kroll, yeah. That was a great movie. Ice Pirates is another one. Funny movie, a little bit of action mixed into it. Maybe it's just too expensive for him to do action movies. Unless you're talking about like Resident Evil. I think the Mila, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name because I'm not even going to get close. But she's amazing as far as action goes. She did the Fifth Element movies, which is a great movie. The Resident Evil movies. Some of them are over the top and ridiculous. Most of them are over the top and ridiculous, but they're still kind of good in their own way. First one was really good, I thought. Tara didn't like them too much. She's a fan of the Resident Evil video games, and apparently they didn't follow the video games as closely as maybe they should have. For the fans, anyways. I used to play with a bunch of Dark Elf monks when the server came out. I don't remember Dark Elves being able to beat monks on live. That might have been something they had down the road. Ice Pirates was just comedy. I mean, they did a few scenes in there where they were fighting, like the scene where they were stuck in the time vortex, and of course he was fighting all the way to the scene where his kid takes over for him. So there was a few scenes in there like that, but definitely not the action that you probably know and come to expect from modern movies, where it's, you know, very fast paced and people's getting their heads torn off and all that kind of crazy stuff that tends to happen. Cypher is still cleaning his keyboard? Jeez. Here's a list of anime. Nice, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm big into anime. Love all those movies. The black guy in Ice Pirates who aged rapidly and his afro is the size of a gigantic balloon. I think there was one scene where he couldn't even get into a doorway after it grew to such massive proportions. I like the guy who was fixing robots nonstop. Like every time he fixed it, they would like just deteriorate right before his eyes. They wouldn't even really get out there too much. Alright, so our monk is waiting for a pop to show up. So many good 80s movies. And when I was working at the movie theater as a kid all the way up into my teenage years, because my parents owned one, there was like a big blockbuster movie coming out like every weekend. I kid you not. Like the theater across the street, because there was a theater on like every corner there for a while. I don't know if you guys remember that. There was like a theater war between like General Cinema and Cinemark. Cineplex Odeon and all those other ones that were out there. Lowe's was in there. But yeah, there was like a big blockbuster movie coming out every week, and you would get one and the other theater across the street would get the other one. So you'd have like Deep Impact and Armageddon. Pretty much the exact same script, just done by two different companies and produced slightly different. You never really got to see the other one because I got to watch movies for free working there, but you don't see blockbuster movies coming out too many these days. Maybe like 2 or 3 every year instead of 2 or 3 every week. The Primeware site even has modern stuff like Doctor Who. I binged on Who on that site recently. I just got caught up with the Doctor Who myself. I watched the Christmas episode where they brought back the original Doctor, and I guess it's not really a secret because they've advertised the crap out of it that they're going to be replacing him with a woman.
Yep.
I'm kind of curious to see how well that works out, because I don't think it has anything to do with being a man or a woman. It has to do with whether the person playing that character can embody Doctor Who, and even a lot of the guys failed to do so. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I hope it's a good one. I wonder if
we'll see.
If Mel is gonna make another Spaceballs. He's running out of time at his age. Do you think they could do a Spaceballs with modern actors? I mean, who would you get to play those roles? Like The Rock?
I don't know. I mean, you can't get. You need
Vin Diesel?
Comedians.
Vin Diesel?
You need good comedians, not people who act like comedians.
You want like real comedians?
I mean, that's what was in it originally, wasn't it? Being real comedians playing.
You had some real actors in there playing some funny roles, but I mean, if you went real
Yeah,
comedians, wouldn't you just go with the entire cast and crew from any Adam Sandler movie? Like, isn't that
no.
every comedian that's out there? Like, what other comedians are there? He seems like he has the entire, you know, database of people.
No. There's a lot more comedians out there. But it really depends. I guess it would depend on what you were. I don't know. I mean, that's up to Mel Brooks if he was to ever do something like that.
Right. I think he'd probably go old school with some of like the older actors.
I mean, aren't not all, not either, not both of the guys are still alive, but just one, right? Because what's his name died not very long ago, or maybe it was 5 years or 10 years ago. But
The guy that did the Han Solo part, I think he's still alive because they showed him in that Armageddon, not Armageddon, ID4 remake, the sequel.
yeah, Chewbacca, the Chewbacca part.
No, you're talking about the bigger guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's still alive anymore.
Yeah, he might not be, but the Han Solo guy's still alive. They could bring him back.
Yeah,
Is the guy from Honey I Shrunk the Kid still around? I hope he is. We're talking about these guys like we're like, oh, are they
I
still
don't
here?
know.
I
I
don't know for
haven't
sure,
seen him in a long time.
he could have just like stopped making movies.
He could have decided that he was retired or something.
Right.
What was his name?
I mean, IMDb, Honey I Shrunk the Kids. He was the main. He was the
Rick.
dad.
See if
Guys
it
didn't
says
see your
anything
Dark
about
Elf Illusion. Oh, okay. Used it inventory slots, but they nerfed it.
I hate looting high corpse everything.
Doctor Who tends to have great casting, so I bet she's awesome. Sometimes there was a Doctor Who that they put in there. Again, I'm not great with names, so I remember like where they're from. He was the bad guy in Gone in 60 Seconds. He was the one giving them the ultimatum, or he's gonna kill Kip, his brother. Yeah, I can remember that guy's name, but not the actual actor's name. And that's how we.
Wow. He started out as a DJ.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What was his DJ name?
Let's see, radio DJ while he was still at high school, which led him to writing, producing, and being an on air in his own show.
Rick Moranis?
Yeah, Rick Moranis.
With a star.
Apparently, he's not dead. I mean, they're showing that there's no death note or anything. It's weird to say.
Those are really the only ones you'd want in there. I mean, or like you could bring all of them back if you wanted to. I don't know about the female lead if she's still. God, it sounds so horrible to be like, are they still around? But you know they kind of are a little old now, so it's always possible. Plus, I keep hearing about all these great people that I loved watching that aren't here anymore.
So while he is still alive, there is no current pictures of him, apparently. Or if there are,
well, Spider's saying he's retired from film, so to get him back into film, you'd have to offer him like a lot of money, probably.
I don't know if you would have to offer him a lot of money. Maybe you just have to offer him a job that he would miss. Where'd everyone go? We have no healer.
Wolfcaller says, guys, gotta go. Good hunting, safe. Wow, so everybody just left us right in the middle of our conversation.
Yeah.
Shows how much we were paying attention. Our group abandoned us, guys. Wow. All right. Well, it's all you, Cypher. We got bandages, dude.
Those bandages.
Good luck finding any interviews.
I don't know. He did really good roles too.
Yeah, him and John Ritter, dude. Like, stay tuned.
Yeah.
fantastic movie, dude. Like it's hilarious. You gonna pull that?
Huh?
You gonna pull
What?
this
Where?
this guy over
Who?
here?
Sure. I don't have any arrows, so I'm gonna just have to go and slap it around a little bit. Hey,
Let's do it old
how
school,
you
man.
doing?
How you doing? I was
Probably
telling
not very well after that.
I was telling my younger brother about Stay Tuned and how like the TV sucked him into it, and he got to play the roles on there. And
Yeah. Actually, there is a current picture of him, and he does not look anything like he used to.
what interview? Current interview.
Let's see here. Let's do that, and then do. Well, that's not going to work. Let's do that, and then this.
Yeah, I got another one.
Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, I almost went into the water again. Good about that. Do that a lot.
All right, got another pop behind us. Yeah, I remember seeing a magazine with on the cover they had all the people from Princess Bride. Obviously not Andre the Giant, but they had all the other cast and crew from it.
Yeah, he looks like a businessman now. He doesn't look anything like he used to.
Right. Well, I guess at some point either you continue to make movies and that's your career, or you have to find another one, right, to pay the bills, because they don't make royalties
He was also
off
a
of that.
director, so I'm sure that's what he went
There's
into
one
at a certain point.
There's one over here. Yeah, because I remember them making a big deal when, was it Val Kilmer, one of those guys that played Batman, wanted like 2-3% of the royalties off of the movie itself. Like they get paid a flat rate, and that's all they ever make from those movies.
Yeah.
Unless they do like guest appearances, and I think the only way you do that or live off of that is if you do like a Star Trek movie, because then you can go to like every convention ever and sign autographs and do your thing. Unless it's the new Star Trek series, which absolutely blows. Don't watch it, guys. It's so bad. I've never seen a Star Trek series go down this route where they follow one person around, and that's it. They even did a Groundhog's Day episode on the series, which was really cool. I liked it, right? Or the idea behind it. But instead of following the person that is actually living the Groundhog's Day over and over and over again, like you would assume that they would, they follow the girl. And she has no idea what's going on every day because she's not living the same day over again. Or she is, but she's not like realizing it, you know? She's just like one of the crew. They won't get away from her. Like they just keep following her around. And I'm like, I've never seen that kind of approach, and it's not really a great approach. I'm actually digging the comedy version of the Star Trek one. What's that one called? The guy with Family Guy in it.
I don't know about the one with the Family Guy in it.
Family Guy, the voice actor from Family Guy.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Oh, yeah, he's doing the comedy version.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Orvis. Not Orvis.
It's not Orvis. That's what I wanted to say. It's something like that, but that's the video game we've been playing lately.
Well, the ship he's on is the Orwell. I can't think of what it's called now.
Neither can I. Like I'm completely spacing, but it was a great series. I think they're in like, in between seasons right now, but that one seems more Star Trek-y to me than the new Star Trek one. Still very playful, still very much about exploring.
McFarlane, the Orwell is Orville is the name of the show.
Not the Orbis, huh?
No, not the Orbis. Not the Orbis VR. Run! Run for your life! You are not going to make it.
Oh my god, Hans came out.
This, if you were to come here for the very first time and saw all these bodies, you would think that there was a massacre that happened.
Usually you come here for the first time and see all of the players' bodies in this kind of fashion all over the place. And you think the same thing. You're like, what just happened here? It's kind of unique because they actually gave you the space for it. If you go to like Soul A, which is where we were earlier, a viewer of ours watched some of the videos and decided to kind of go down there and try it out for himself as an enchanter, which I think is definitely doable. Don't try to think like Soul A is like this horrible, horrible place for you to go.
Horrible,
Yeah,
horrible
it's
place.
great loot, great experience, and really, really fun. But it's also going to
And
be
great
challenging.
money.
Yeah. It's going to be challenging, though, because there are seeing Viz mobs, there's a lot of ads and roamers, and the mobs tend to root you and blast you, and then trying to get out of the zone in a hurry, you fall into the lava. There's a lot of pitfalls, literal pitfalls, that you run into, but
I
it's...
mean, the funny thing about that zone and people is that if you go to the goblins camp in High Keep, they are so picky about orb blocks. They don't want to have a master looter that goes and sells. Everybody wants their own loot and they want to roll for all of the big stuff.
Right.
They don't want to just they don't want it to be parsed out. Where in Soul A, same kind of goblins, same kind of loot, and people are like, yeah, let's just have a main looter and go out and sell at the druid rings.
Because it's so
They,
close.
but they have a merchant in like right there in High Keep. I mean, it's just right, literally around the corner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why they want it themselves, because it is so close. They don't mind having that weight on them. But in Soul A, you got to travel out to the Druid Ring, and yeah, it's close, but it's not like 2 feet away. You know, it's not in the same zone. So, person walking around with like 50, 60, 70 plat on them, or 60, 70 pounds of bricks worth, 2 or 300 plat, a lot of classes can't do it, period. Like, they just don't have the weight.
Yeah.
Oh, we were wrecking this even without a healer. He must have like a Fungion or something.
He had his quest robe on.
Oh, really? He's already done the point 0.5?
I think so.
Holy crap. I didn't think you could start that into your 40?
Nope, you can get anytime.
Spider says, so there you go, AC. Rick Moranis on acting. Sorry, it was a long response. I didn't see anything about his acting on there. I don't know if it went through, or I stand corrected after reading this on the wiki page. Yes, I don't think it went through, Spider. If you want to let us know exactly what's going on with his career. But yeah, there's a lot of comedy guys out there nowadays, so that's not one field I think is lacking. I think just action is lacking.
Yeah.
And you got like the romance one still going on. A little bit. Hey, no, you're up early, dude. How you doing, man? You on in the call? Did you see that? No, I did not see that. So maybe it's blocking it. If you're putting a link into it, I guess it could block it. Let's see if we can get Noddle in here for a few before he has to go to work, I'm sure. I'm going to call him out of the blue. He's not answering. He's probably busy.
Yep. It's like, what are you fools doing waking me up this early in the morning? I mean, not waking him up. He's been up since like 2 or 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh, okay. So he's up for the bus. All right.
Yeah.
Off today, maybe in a hit or in a bit. All right. In 1997, Moranis took a hiatus from working in the film industry. He later explained, I'm a single parent, and I just found that it was too difficult to manage to raise my kids and to do the traveling involved in making movies. That makes sense. So I took a little bit of a break, and the little bit of a break turned into a longer break, and then I found that I really didn't miss it. After having declined an invitation to do a cameo appearance in 2016, the Ghostbusters reboot, thank God you declined that one, clarified into an interview, and then it fades off. I guess maybe too big of a message. There might be a size limit, too, on the Twitch. Maybe that's why it's not going through. I'm glad he didn't do the Ghostbuster one.
Oh yeah, me
4.
too.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna do it if not. Oh man, that Ghostbusters movie, dude. Did you watch it?
Yes.
You did.
Did not like it.
You got through the entire thing.
I did. I went through the whole movie.
Oh, dude, how'd you do that?
I it wasn't too hard. It
Were you
was it was
drunk? Were you glued to the seat? You were glued to the seat
no,
where she
no,
was a practical
I'm
joke.
one of those people who doesn't care. I'll watch a movie all the way through, and then I will say my piece about it.
You were stuck
But
in
I
Guantanamo
feel
Bay.
a movie has to be watched in its entirety before you can make any real decisions on it. I mean, but I watch some really weird movies like Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal, where he is actually playing two characters that are himself.
Oh, that guy wants to know what a guild is. He's joking. But you're talking about the guy that played two roles in himself, Eddie Murphy? Like every movie,
No,
Eddie Murphy
Jake,
was in.
Jake Gyllenhaal. He in the movie Enemy, he is himself, meaning that he lives a double life.
Right.
He thinks he's killing his other half, but he is never in. It's always him talking to himself. The look that he sees of the other person is just himself reacting to himself, even though in the movie it doesn't portray it that way. It's actually a really good movie, as weird as I just made that sound.
Right. Spoilers, yeah, he just spoiled it for you guys. The entire movie was actually a
Yeah,
dream
that movie that you probably have never even heard
of a
of, or
butterfly on crack.
I mean, it's a Lion Gate movie, so you know that it's probably a weird one. It's like that's their thing, Lion Gate.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Oh, yeah, 35? That's probably too high. Yeah, Ghostbusters, man. Oh my god, dude. Guantanamo Bay stuff. Put that on repeat, people will tell you anything you want to know. Just don't make me watch it again. And the cameos? Oh god, because you have done worse cameos. Like, I love the guys that were, in the original. Was it Dan Aykroyd where he's driving a taxi for like a half a second? And he's like, get the, out of here. Like, I don't even want to be here. Give me my money. Like, that's what that role seemed like. It was so horrible. God, remakes, man. They are the bane of this generation's existence. I hope they eventually stop
They
doing
are.
those things.
We need new movies.
Yeah, new content, man.
A lot of the movies that I like, they're especially those Lion Gate movies. A lot of them are books that have been brought into movies.
They never live up to it though, like Ender's Game, which I thought was
No,
a decent movie.
I didn't see that one.
The movie is far, far, far from the book.
I didn't read it or watch it. It was not something that was. It didn't look like it was going to be great.
It's not bad. I thought it was okay. But I mean, if you're a fan of the book, you probably will want more out of your movie.
I'm also not a fan of people who comment on the book versus the movie, because the book is, of course, not going to be the movie. The movie is not going to be the book.
It's hard not to, though, if you think about it, because if you read the book first, your expectations are pretty high. Like, you know where it's supposed to go. The book was amazing, obviously, while you're going to watch the movie. And then the movie falling short, you just can't help but to compare it to it.
But the only reason you're comparing it to it is because of the fact that you're not. A lot of people. I'm not saying you. I'm saying a lot of people think of those movies as this movie did not reach. They didn't hit on all the points. Or of course they didn't hit on all the points. They just don't have the ability to hit all the points in a 2 hour form or 1 hour and 20 minute, whatever they're wanting to call a movie
Yeah,
nowadays.
there are some people that will pick on that point, but I think most of the time when they compare the two together, they say the movie didn't have the good points that the book had. It didn't go deep enough into depth where they should have went, and they went more into depth on like the cheesy, like I've heard of one movie where they compared the entire movie took place on one page. And there was like,
Right.
900 and something other pages left in that book that you could have delved into, but you didn't.
Yeah.
So in that regard,
I mean,
like you fell short. You fell really
you're
short.
the thing is that whenever you turn anything into a script, it while you may sign a contract that says that the writer will have some kind of variance or validity in how the movie is going to be portrayed, they honestly don't.
No,
It's
they
the
don't.
director who change. I mean, that's why scripts don't have physical features or things like that. Those are things for the director to fill in themselves.
Well, it
So
doesn't need to be that way though. I mean, the whole point is if you like a book, all the work's been done for you. Now I realize the director has a talent, obviously, or hopefully he has a talent. That's why he's a director.
yeah,
Not always that case, but hopefully he does, and he should use that talent to getting the camera angles right. Right,
true.
and leave the storyline to the person who is obviously a professional about writing storylines. Now,
I
a script is different
think
from a book, but
I think what the real problem is that yes, of course you're gonna have to cut a book
this
down,
could be a little sticky.
but people nah, it's gonna be fine. I'll take on the familiar first. I'm gonna grab them all. Don't worry about the familiar. The thing is with the movie business or whatever you want to call it nowadays is that they don't allow movies to go past a certain point. I think they were saying that for Black Panther, the movie that's coming out soon or just released, they were originally going to leave it a 4 hour movie. I don't know what the length of it is now, but we don't get what I would consider an operatic quality movie anymore
No,
or nowadays.
no,
We
you get
get
one
we get
act.
the short 10-minute YouTube video because of the fact that they need to stay within that guideline for them to make sure they get enough views
They don't
or
need to
meet the
though.
certain metrics of I understand that, but that's how they react to everything whenever they make movies.
Cora says that creativity is gone. People stopped doing natural made drugs and went to pharmaceuticals. Could be. I mean, you look at throughout history. I'm not saying I support all that stuff, but you look throughout history. Some of the most creative people have been some of like the biggest drug users or messed up in the head kind of people who cut off their own ear and eat it for breakfast kind of stuff. Like they're a little bit out there. And they make some really crazy stuff, but really good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think you have to be a tortured soul to come out with something creative or something creative. I think it probably helps, because you got a lot of background to pull from, a lot of, crazy insight.
I mean, what is not that all books are good books, but what is there's some kind of like so many thousand books come out every day,
Oh
or
yeah,
at least are published. I
that
mean,
that comes down to the amount of people that are out there now.
yeah,
It's the same thing like the news. That's why the news will kind of make you depressed. You hear about all like the negativity stuff that's going on out there, all these murders, all these crazy crimes. And I don't think there's more crime in the world than there has ever been before. I think there's just more people. So that
hmm
1% of the crazy population is a lot bigger because there's just, more population on the planet.
which leads us into the next non-PC topic.
Unicorns
What's it
versus
called?
dragons?
Euthanasia. I mean, that's something that has been talked about not recently,
I was
but
going to
at
say, where
some
did that
point.
come from?
No. I mean, the population situation. Why is euthanasia even ever or was ever considered? They did that in China at one point. They euthanized all of their opiate addicts at one point, all of them. And that's why there is not as much of an opium epidemic as there used to be in China.
Big Ton says, no way, it's just reported more because of social media and whatnot. Same amount as it's always was just, you hear about it a little now. Yeah, I think that's true too to a certain point. But I mean, if you have, like, in the way I'm looking at it is if you got 100 people in a room and 1% of those people are crazy and will commit some kind of, outrageous,
Heinous.
well, maybe not heinous, but outrageous act of some kind that will make the news. That's not very many people to report on. It's one person, and he may not do it every day. You got 1,000 people in the room. Well, that one person is no longer one anymore. It's a little bit more. You got 10 million people in a room, 1 billion people, 10 billion people. Then all of a sudden, you got a little more crazy people. They're still the same
Yeah,
percentage. It's still a small percentage, but it's
but it's a
still,
large number now.
yeah, it's a lot more people because, there's a lot more people. But yeah, I do agree with you. They do kind of concentrate a little bit more on the negative side, which is why I don't tend to watch the news because I just went through a flood here in Houston, and I got to see some of the best of people that have to offer. People that put themselves in a harm's way to help other people. People who opened up their doors literally to complete strangers, allowed them to
Yep.
stay with them. No charge, didn't ask for anything, didn't think they were going to get murdered or raped in their sleep, although they probably could have, because there are crazy people out there. But yeah, I got to see the best in people firsthand, and I got to see it for a long period of time. And no matter what I see on the news, there's still people holding doors open for people who are injured, people who are helping people on the side of the road. They get flat tires. I mean, the world is not this horrible place. It can be that way. It can definitely seem that way at times, and it can definitely
Yeah.
slam you and keep you down, and everybody goes through those times. But people are amazing if you just give them a chance to be that way. Yeah, I think the dude should probably do a little bit more of those feel good stories they used to do. Like tell me about like this one guy who devoted his entire self to helping others just because. The kids who were donating their lunch money to help out the homeless. Like there used to be things like that, and they still are. There's probably still tons of those stories. They just don't report on them. So I think there's still more good people than there are bad people. That's always, I think, going to be the case. If it ever gets to be the other way, then we'll be in big, big trouble.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that we just love hearing. I'm not gonna say love hearing the bad news, but people think that we love hearing the bad news because that's all they like to report anymore.
I think it definitely gets people watching longer. I noticed that when I was a kid, the weather was never really like a big thing. Like, oh, okay, we got sunshine, a little bit of wind, rain coming in, right? Oh, there might be a hurricane off the shore. We're gonna keep an eye on it. We'll tell you when it develops into something. But now, like when there's a hurricane or even like a remote chance of a hurricane out there, and yeah, the weather has gotten a little bit worse, they make a big deal about it. They're like, oh my God, doomsday, it's coming for us, guys. Go out and buy 400 cans of corn and like 40 bottles of water and, get yourself a basement and, pray to whatever, Jeebus that you want to and just make sure that all your effects are in order because like doomsday is coming for us. And that's just like for like a regular storm coming down the road. So
Yeah.
they fooled all of Galveston a few years back over here, and it was pretty bad, dude. They got all of Galveston to evacuate, and the roads on I-10, I kid you not, were bumper to bumper for like a day and a half. Like nobody was moving. It caused a lot of harm. A lot of people got hurt. Being stuck in that kind of traffic, not being you run out of gas. You can't get off of
Yeah.
the freeway. Nothing's moving. So you run out of gas. You're stuck in a car. The exhaust, the heat. Heat is a big deal here in Houston. If you guys have never been here before, if you're sitting in a car with no AC on because you turned your engine off to save gas, you are going to bake like a potato, and it's going to happen in like an hour. You are going to be so heat stroke, it's not even going to be funny. So I do remember Chick-fil-A going out there giving out free food and free drinks and trying to help people as much as they could, but like they're only one small little tiny company. They can't change that kind of stuff. And nothing actually happened. Galveston didn't get hit. And so the next year, when a hurricane was coming back in and they told, everybody was going to be like the end of the world again, nobody listened to them. And then a big hurricane did come in and a lot of people got hurt because of it. So yes, that wolf or that boy who cries wolf too many times. You know, you want to
Did
listen
you
to him,
hear?
but you can't. This just sucks.
Did you hear about the thing? It was it Hawaii or I think it was
The
Hawaii,
missile.
where they thought they were being attacked by ICBMs or being attacked by missiles, and it ended up actually being just a test. They first off they said that it was an accident because of the fact that the guy hit the wrong button,
Mm-hmm.
and then like today or yesterday they came out and actually said that no, that wasn't correct. They sent out a letter to this individual who was at this location, and they said we are going to be doing a test of the system.
Mm-hmm. Did you
This
hear
is
the
just a
actual recording?
test. Yeah, it actually showed the whole thing, the whole message that they
It
received,
was
and
hilarious, dude. The
they
beginning of it.
apparently forgot to notice that it said that it was a test. It
Well,
wasn't,
no, no,
but it also said that this is also not a
yeah,
test.
yeah. It said this is an exercise 3 times. It said this is an exercise. This is an exercise. This is an exercise. And right after that, it says this is not a test. And I'm like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
confused already. I'm with this guy. Like, I would
yeah.
probably push the button
Well,
because, like,
he
this is
ended up
not a
losing
test.
his
What?
job over it, though.
Yeah, but I'm like, why, dude? Like, I understand it's a big mistake and they gotta blame somebody, and crap rolls downhill, so he's getting stuck on that one. But the guy that came up with the this is an exercise, this is an exercise, this is an exercise, this is not a test, that guy needs to be fired. Like, they need to
Yeah,
clarify that. That was very confusing. And I don't know, a little bit of a safeguard in there when you're running a test. Maybe make it where you can't actually broadcast the end of the world to people. It might be a good
yeah.
idea, a little bit maybe. Not that, I think the main thing that's kind of being lost on that focus is what do you do when that actually happens? Nobody's talking about that because, like, what do you do? Like, you're going to stick your head underneath a school table? Right? It's a nuclear bomb coming for you. So there's not
Yeah,
really
I
anything
mean,
you can do. I guess
how
grab the
much
person next to you, give them a big hug, let them know how much you love them, and then wait for it to happen, right? I mean, like, what more
once
can
you
you do?
get that, how much time do you think to yourself before you actually activate?
Moments,
They said
moments.
it's a test, they said this is an exercise, but then they also said it's a test. How long are you contemplating? Is this really an exercise? Do I have time to call
Right?
someone? Should I go ahead and just hit the button?
There
I
was
mean, what's going on here?
there's a movie that was coming out. I saw the preview for it, and it's like one of those murder parties where, like, they act like, oh, somebody's been
Oh
murdered.
yeah, yeah,
You got
yeah.
to figure out who it is, right? And
I saw that, and it's like, it's gonna make it look like it's realistic. And then the guy comes in and he's like putting him in a chokehold, and they're
mhm.
carrying him out, and it's like, guys, help me! This isn't supposed to be happening. And they're, oh, this is good. You guys are doing it well. It looks realistic to me
Right.
as they're eating the chips.
So I think that's kind of the same thing, like, you tell somebody this is fake, and then at the same time you tell them it's real, and it's just kind of like, oh yeah, it's good, man. This butter on this thing is amazing. Like, which one do you do? But yeah, it was kind of
Yeah,
hilarious. Um, for 20 years, I used to say I think that most people are inherently good. Now I think it's the other way, that most people are bad. I think it comes down to the way you look at things, man. I mean, I was kind of the same way with you in reverse. I was always kind of negative, thinking that people were bad. But man, when it's cliche, you can't have no in your heart. You got a life scar and dig it kind of stuff from Joe Dirt. But when you start looking at the world as good, you start putting out, again, I'm a hippie dude. Thune kind of nailed it. Put good vibes out there, right? Think positive thoughts. You'd be surprised. It comes back to you, man. What goes around comes around, and people kind of do get what they deserve. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I've definitely harmed people and hurt people that I, regret to this day of doing the stuff that I did, stupid kid stuff. And even as an adult, I'm sure, I lose my anger, like in traffic, somebody cuts you off and it's hot and you're just miserable, and maybe you honk that horn and you just make somebody else's day a little bit more miserable. But you can also do the reverse, man. You hold the door for somebody who, needs a little bit of help. They're coming out of a grocery store with their hands full. You hold the door for them, and they do the same thing. They pass it down. You may never ever get that in return, but somebody else does, and
it's
makes the
it's
world a
so
better place,
weird
man.
about that specific topic. I was doing the same thing. I was at a supermarket. I was coming into the supermarket. Someone was coming out. I held the door for him, and then they made it a gender thing. It was what are you talking about? I'm just holding the door so that you can get out easier because of the fact that you have both of your hands are full. You think I can't do this myself? I mean, I don't understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to be a nice guy.
That definitely does come up more nowadays, but anytime that comes up, I just do what I normally do, which is say, "Have a great day, ma'am," and then walk away. I
Yeah,
mean, just have a great day. I
I
mean, there's not much
I
you're not
mean,
going to be able to win an argument with them. So just
yeah,
have a
it's
fantastic
like
day. Move
if
along.
someone was. I mean, the only way I could compare it is if somebody says something mean or bad or whatever to me, like they think that they're offending me on a video that they're leaving a comment on, I just say thank you. I mean, that's all I can really do is thank you for your comment that is kind of mean to me, but that's okay. I'm fine. Well, I'm gonna move on to another day.
Yeah, you can't. There's some people out there that like to argue, and I like to argue every once in a while, especially about who can pick up Thor's hammer when the Hulk pees green or purple. It's kind of one of those things that we get into every once in a while, but
Oh, geez, they showed this week actually on The Big Bang Theory where the girls were actually talking about that. The guys went away to a convention and they were like, "Let's go ahead and see what this whole thing is that they're about." And so they got Thor, and they started reading it. And at the end, they're like, "Yeah, this
oh
is
yeah, that's an
this."
older episode. That came out in like
Yeah,
season 4, 3, somewhere around there.
or yeah, between 3 and 5.
Yeah, well that would be 4.
But it
3 and 4, 3 and 5.
but yeah, it it ended up that they had this huge conversation about if anyone could carry Thor's hammer,
It's fun,
and
dude. It's fun
there's
to
a
geek out.
list of people who have carried Thor's hammer, including Hulk, the Red Hulk. I mean, all kinds of people have carried his hammer.
I mean, you get
It's just
life's too short to take everything so seriously. Why so serious, Batman? Like
yeah,
take them as they come. Spider was like, AC, I really admire your strength and fortitude. You went through so much with that hurricane. I don't know if I could have dealt with it. It's not really a choice. I mean, when it happens to you, you're just like, this sucks, right? I remember
yeah.
when it happened. The day after I came back to my house and I was standing in my living room that was completely soaked. Human feces all around me, and you could smell it, you could see it. It was just nasty. And looking around at everything that you kind of worked for your entire life destroyed, and you feel like it's worse than it probably is, and it's pretty bad. But like, what do you do? Like, I go sit down in a corner and cry, or start ripping out carpet and getting back to a point where like I can actually be in this house that I worked for, and provide a living condition for my parents that are living with me because they have health problems and stuff, and just getting it done. Just do what you can do. There's still people around here, man. They're still taking out sheetrock and throwing it away. I see it when I drive down the neighborhood, so it's still a work in progress for a lot of people. But you do what you can do, and I don't think I would have been able to do nearly as much as I did without the help of a lot more people. So I don't think I'm anything special, and I don't think I did that any way better than anybody else out there. I think I just did it as best as I could, and I think you guys probably could do the exact same thing. Because at the end of the day, you don't really have much of a choice. It's there in front of you, and you got to solve the problem as best as you can.
Yeah.
Any more from me, and it would be completely, in my opinion, I work for the Native Hospital, and I've seen some completely ridiculous stuff. I think maybe I've seen too many people on drugs. Drugs are bad, MK. It's like cops too. I think it's the same thing. You get to see like the worst side of people. A lot of the time I give really high praise to nurses, and maybe not so much doctors because they don't really get to see as much as the nurses do. They're only in the room for like 5 minutes at a time. But the nurses, they see you at your worst, man. They see you when you go in there and you have like uncontrollable bowel movements and it's just going everywhere. It's like the scene from Dumb and Dumber. It's a nightmare scenario. They see that kind of stuff like day to day. And it's just at some point, it's like, how are you not crazy? And how are you like one of the kindest individuals I've ever seen in my life, and so understanding and just caring when I come in here with these problems? And they are, dude. They are some of the best people I have ever seen in my life. So generous with their time and their effort and their energy. and so understanding. Like that's just like the biggest thing I've ever seen is just amazing. And they're in the trenches with like just literal feces all around them at times, blood and guts and some of the worst of humanity. But they seem like they're not letting it get to them, and I'd love to know their secret because I'd love to be able to let some stuff slide off me a little bit easier too. But cops, I think they're a little bit different because the life is on the line, and if they make a mistake, people die, and they're judged harshly as well. Maybe rightly so, maybe not. But at the end of the day, they're still human, and people make mistakes. So I don't know. It's rough. It's a rough world out there, and if you see the worst of people, I can understand why you might just kind of be in that mindset all the time, expecting to be betrayed or expecting for somebody to pull out a gun on you because you got to be prepared for that as a cop. But thankfully, I'm not in that career, in that line of work, and I can stand to have the luxury of being able to see the best in people, which I guess kind of is a luxury at some points. Say thanks for the view. Big Daddy Gaming says just say thanks for the view. That would work. Alright, so you guys switch targets at the same time that I switch targets, so I'm staying on this one.
I'm just trying to hold aggro on both of them.
Guys are making me jump back and forth.
You guys are the DPS, I am muscle.
Very old episode of Big Bang Theory, yeah, but I watched repeats over and over on TBS. I love Big Bang Theory, dude.
Same here.
The first 5 seasons, I haven't really watched any beyond that point. I like to binge watch really good shows like that, so I'm kind of saving them up. I know it's rough. It's like I want to watch them, but I didn't get to see their wedding. I did hear about it. I didn't get to see their wedding, so that's as far back as I am. I'm a few seasons. I seriously consider the Big Bang Theory as comfort food. It definitely is nice to kind of just sit back and watch something that can make you laugh when it comes on at 6 p.m. I know I have 4 hours of the show, and I binge over and over each week. It's such an amazing and entertaining show. I hear that. I was a cop in the Air Force for 6 years. So that might be why, man. I mean, you got to see some of the worst of people. Had to respond to a bunch of stuff like that. Careful, you might trigger people. Yeah, but I mean, it comes down to how you look at it. Doom, great guy that has hung out with us many, many times, said pretty much the same thing. When he was younger, he was very angry, and as he's gotten older, he's kind of learned to let things slide off him a little bit more and look at the world a little differently. And I guess it just came down to me. I could be miserable and unhappy, always thinking the worst in everybody, or I could be happy and have a positive outlook on life. You might get hurt. You probably will. You're going to get hurt no matter what at times, but how do you want to spend the majority of your day? Do you want to be miserable or do you want to be happy? So I like to hang out and have fun.
I don't know. I think I've become the opposite over my years. I used to be optimistic, and now I am more opinionated than ever.
You'll swing back around, dude. There's a pop over here.
Yeah, I'm getting my arrows made.
Yeah, man, life's a
Darn
garden.
you,
Dig it,
arrows! Darn you!
First 4 or 5 seasons of The Big Bang Theory are the absolute best. I just hate it when everyone got involved with someone and got married. They always do that, though, man. They always have it. You can name any television show that is, like, known to man, and they always try to create some type of drama between them of getting married or going out with one another and
having kids.
You can draw it out for as long as you want, but at the end of the day, like, I never even liked that kind of stuff in my television shows. Smallville was one that they did it on that I was just like, I'm not interested in this show. That's all that show was.
I went 4 seasons and then finally I was like, eh.
Some people love it though, so I'm not gonna put it down. My brother loves that show, but so much drama, dude. Give me the like Bushido Bull says, give me the shablazzle, give me the storyline, the actual main arc that's going on, the sizzle, the science, you know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty I'm pretty lenient type of person, but not my ex-roommates. don't want to give me their new address because they know I'm gonna sue them. Jeez. I'm always kind of afraid to ask what they did. TV to get away from real life, then they made the TV emulate real life is confused, right? Little too realistic on the drama, I think, at times. And then you have movies like the 400 Shades of Purple that are very much dramatized and not even close to real life, I guess. Ah, another pop.
400 Shades of Purple?
Yeah. 50 Shades of Grey or whatever it is. Oh, Bazinga! Oh, we can't use that one. That might be like My Little Kitty. Let's copyright it.
Shablazzle.
They didn't pay their last month rent and extreme damages to their room. Go on Judge Judy, man. I can't stand that woman, but you know that sounds like what right up her alley. The thing that gets me on Judge Judy, I don't know if you ever watched all the episodes of Sliders, a television show back in the day where they would slide to different universes through a portal and they were trying to find their way back home, right? One of the universes they went to had a world like ours, I guess now. It had reality shows that were the judicial system, and they had a judge just like Judge Judy that did it for entertainment, but was also like that was where you went. When I watch Judge Judy, I see the worst in our judicial system and where it could possibly go one day, and I don't want it to go even close to that. So I think that's why I don't like it more than anything else.
Sliders had the guy who played the dwarf in The Lord of the Rings.
The guy that played the dwarf.
I remember correctly.
Which guy?
The dwarf. Gimli. Son of Gloy.
No, who is that in Sliders? They had the professor, the big guy. No, that wasn't the big guy.
That's him.
No,
that's him.
No, not even.
Yes,
that cannot be that guy.
It is him.
No way. I'm gonna have to look this up because I don't believe it. I'm good with faces, and that does not look like IMDb Sliders.
Are you talking about a movie or the TV show?
The TV show.
Yeah.
There is no way. Where is he?
That's how I know him from. Yeah.
John Ray Davis is the professor. Holy crap.
Huh?
Holy crap. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Really?
Yes. That's the only reason I remember that movie, that show is because of that.
All right, man. I apologize. You're right.
It was 4 or 5 people that were traveling through time or through dimensions.
Yeah.
And he was the professor.
Wow. All right. Like I said, I apologize. You got that one. Jesus, I had no idea.
Yep. That's called a good bad memory. I can remember those kind of things, but I can't remember the last thing we just said. What were we talking about?
Right. Yeah, we remember all the inane features and trivia that won't actually make us any money or get us anywhere, but
look at that. Look at that shot. I think I hit it.
Monk got it at least. Well, I'm still shocked. I did not pick up on that. Because I watched all the Sliders way into the seasons that sucked towards the end.
Yeah.
They were just bad.
I mean, the concept was great, but then it just started getting...
Well, how long can you hold them out there before, what world can you go to that you haven't done before?
I mean, look, what is Quantum... I mean, Quantum Leap even went back.
Yeah.
And that was after maybe 4 or 5 seasons.
It's funny, too, because he, took over the role of, multiple people in the same time period.
Yeah.
To the point where he's sitting at a table with 6 people and he's playing all the roles of every single person at a different time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he played that role for so long that when he started to play Enterprise, he didn't know how to stop. He always seemed level baby, nice level 30.
Congrats.
He always seemed unsure of whether he was really the captain or whether he had just jumped into the captain's body on Enterprise.
The good thing though is that that is the best kind of acting experience that you can get.
If you can
I
stop,
mean, you.
if you can stop
I mean,
yourself.
true, but I mean, you come out of a show like that, they ask you to do some kind of voice or acting or anything of the sort where it requires someone to be outside of their norm.
Right.
He has been outside of his norm the whole time he was in that show.
Yeah, because he played a different person every single time, which it was cool to
Male,
see.
female is, and then of course Al, his friend.
I always thought
And
Al was the fairy from Zelda. Hey, listen! Like, every time he showed up, he was always like, "Oh, it's important news. Oh, listen, But he never had enough time.
I would have to see a picture of him, but he reminds me for some reason of the same guy who plays Columbo.
He did Enterprise too. Yeah, you ever watch the one where they get the Zindi on the prison camp, and they lock the guy up in jail? They actually locked the captain in. Is it Mayweather? His helmsman?
Oh, I can't remember all of the Star Trek. I've watched so many versions of Star Trek. I
Okay.
can't remember.
Yeah, this is Star
What
Trek
is-
Enterprise, and it had Scott Bakula, and he was in there with Ziggy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did an episode with him, and I'm like, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh my god. All right, a little bit on the nose with the quantum leap stuff, but I'm digging it. We'll go with it. Yeah.
Don't you stab me in the back.
Lord of the Rings did a lot of tricky camera angles, and they did some amazing camera shots with beautiful scenery. Like, that is just one thing I remember about that movie more than anything is beautiful land with no
Go
concrete.
to New Zealand.
Kind of want
that's where
to,
it's
dude. Any place that doesn't have concrete, I'm all for. I'm so tired of concrete. It's everywhere here. It's like it's closing in on me. I feel so claustrophobic with the city.
I mean,
I moved all the way out in the middle of nowhere when I first got this house, and now it's just like everywhere is businesses.
I think if I was to move somewhere, I'd probably move back to Europe because there was a lot of gray areas in Europe. Especially like Ireland, they had such beautiful land.
Yeah, but it seems like it all gets paved over at some point. I'm a little optimistic in that regard, just because I keep seeing it every day when I go out of my house.
That's America.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a place that does not do that.
It'd be nice. I want to see the world one day and travel a little bit more than I have. I've only been for a few places, and I don't know. There's so much to see out there, and we have the capability of doing it. Like in the old days, you had to take like one of these boats that would take you like 6 months to get across, or whatever duration it was. But it seemed like a sea voyage was a thing. Like it was something you built up for. You didn't get there fast. It was dangerous. You could die out there. So not a lot of people did it. But now, like, you can take a plane. I mean, it's cost, yeah, but it's a lot safer until you get to your destination, and then you have no idea what to expect from like the criminals and all the tourist hotspots that have been kind of taken over by these crazy people. But
Yeah.
I still want to see it. Like, I still want to get out there and go there one day. But I don't know. Hopefully, I will. I think everybody has a spot that they want to go to at some point. Because I know you've been to Italy, and I've never been to Italy, dude. And the way you make it sound, the fact that you have such love and passion for the place, just makes me want to see it even more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've changed since I've been there, but I don't think where I was living, I don't think they would change it because of the fact that you're talking hundreds and hundreds of years of old grapevines and a really rich area in the first place. So I'm sure that area has not been touched.
Right.
But a lot of it hasn't been touched either.
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Wasn't there a fourth ship? What was the fourth one?
The Cadillac?
The Cadillac.
Yeah, good.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I was at Orvino Air Base in Italy for a layover when I went to Kuwait during Operation Iraq Freedom. Did you guys
Which
get
one?
to a Avalio? It's
Oh,
Aviano.
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 Aviano. That's closer to the north. I guess you would consider that to be west. Yeah, northwest, northeast, northeast. I think you have to switch trains at Vicenza to go up there. But yeah, I know that area.
And it looks like we're
How,
losing our monk here, so we might need to make it back to the entrance here. Did you get to go off and explore a little bit, or did you get trapped on the
uh,
airplane? Because I know my brothers,
no.
when they did it, they weren't
Oh,
allowed
you
to
mean him?
leave. Yeah, they weren't allowed to
Yeah,
leave the base.
I was able to travel all along the train line from Milan all the way to Venice, and we would take trips every day.
That's one thing I really want to do is a train ride. I know a lot of other countries they have train rides. You can see them on YouTube as well. They're like the slow TV kind of things I watch when it's late at night. I want to relax and just kind of sit down and see a place that I've never got to see before. You can watch like these videos that they set up in trains and they go through the Alps. They go through like whatever country you want. There's thousands of these things out there. And they're very, very cool that they got this much public transportation. We don't really have trains here in
Yeah.
Texas that do that. We have a lot of freight trains, but we don't have, people trains.
Well, they also don't have normal cars in the cities that you go to. Like the main car type that I saw over there was Fiats, and they also have these really cool three-wheeled trucks that had to be the worst to ride in. They had no suspension on them, except for like the front, which is kind of made out of a moped kind of steering wheel. And then they rode a lot of mopeds, mainly because of the fact that gas was $5 a gallon
Right.
or liter,
Which
whatever they could buy.
we just kind of getting to up here. Wolfenfang was healing you up a little bit, got you up to pretty close to full life there. But guys,
Yeah,
I think we're gonna go ahead and end the episode here in a few minutes. I gotta start getting ready to work in about 40 minutes myself. So we could have gone a little bit further, but our group kind of broke up. It does that, if you don't keep getting more people in there. We had a chance to earlier, but it seems like maybe the graveyard kind of snagged them up before we could. Because
yeah.
I sent a couple people to tell, but never really got any responses on that. So yeah, Spider, it's been a pleasure hunting and playing with you guys again here. We'll be doing some more Orbis for those of you who are watching that and wanting to see a little bit more Orbis. That's going to be coming here pretty soon. Me and Cypher have been trying to get together on the time to do a little bit of Astroneers with Bushido Bull. He has that
Yep.
game, and they've added some new features that he's been wanting to show off and tell us a little bit about. So hopefully we could do that soon. We just got to get the time scheduling kind of worked out for all three of us to be on. As far as new games coming out, I got my hands on a number of them. So we're going to be doing another day, as we have in the past, where I play 10 or 15 or 20 games, depending on how many we can get through in a 10 to 15 hour stretch. Sometimes we only get through even like less than a handful because we find one that's really good and we play it for several hours, like that planet based game. So if you guys are interested in seeing more of that footage, definitely hit me back up and just stay tuned to all the notifications you guys can receive down here. Doctor's appointment at 9:30 today. All right, so he's not gonna be able to do it. I gotta go to work anyway, so I won't be home until later today. I only noticed one change. No clue what Orbis is, but maybe I'll catch you playing it. Yeah, Spider didn't really like that one too much, which I can understand. I mean, everybody has their own preferences on video games, and hopefully we'll find something that all you guys enjoys. If you want to see other footage from Cypher Deck, go check him out on his YouTube channel. He's doing
Yes, sir.
Fallout 4 series right now. I'm actually digging that one a lot. He's got a lot of videos for that coming out here soon. So
Oh yeah.
you guys are gonna see some crazy shenanigans. I want to see some super mutant fights. I want to see you doing some farming.
Yeah. You mean farming for loot or farming
No,
for
no, out there
like
tilling the
farming?
soil, getting you get some of those
Uh,
melons, some of those tomatoes. Get that stuff going on, man.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see about that. I don't know.
And as always, guys, I'm AC Gamer, and we will definitely catch you next time.
Bye, guys.
Have a great night or a good morning now, I guess.
Yep.
Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that, of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.